what was the last part saying? The last part was saying
The free look and the ability to, well, yeah, the ability to free look. So while you're sprinting and stuff, you can't look left or right without heading in a straight direction. You'd have to stop, turn, and look, and then
oh
continue running that way.
oh well that's kind of realistic. I mean, I guess you can look sideways when you're running, but you'll die. World War II, baby.
I mean, technically, you wouldn't die. You're just. I mean,
Trip and fall.
I mean, yeah, there's the possibility of tripping and falling at that point in time, which ends
It's a
up just ruining a lot.
it's a risk I'm willing to take.
It is a risk everyone's willing to take. But uh, I do think the movement with the stamina bar, yes, it's realistic. You're gonna have to manage that. Now, to only refill it is either by, well, what do they say? Either use a canteen,
Yeah, drinking
or
water.
was it sitting down, laying down,
Yeah,
or
so
something?
basically just resting or drinking water.
Right, so basically just like crouching behind cover or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. Now, drinking from a canteen, not necessarily, because when you're running, then you try to drink something, it does not necessarily like regain any stamina at that point. Now, if drinking a canteen would be good for like if they added, food and water into the game, like Tarkov does, because Tarkov has a food and water type of system that implements, hey, you're running low energy, you need to eat and drink stuff. However, you die in this game, then you're probably just like going back to regular like spawn or something like that, and then just redoing it all over. But
Yeah.
if it's a slower paced game, then you might want to implement that type of stuff into that.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like, I guess it's just me as a person. Like, the slower paced games like aren't as fun. It's not like as like it doesn't get you in the action as much. And I'm into that. I need action right now. But it's
And
interesting though.
yeah, it's interesting that I like if these two games like went like
Had a baby.
yeah had a baby, I think that would actually be like unique in itself. One of them does like the graphic type situation, the other one
Yeah.
does like the like just movement and
Yeah.
all that stuff. But we still have a little bit left to
Yeah.
go on this.
And
So
that's the thing too, is like with these games, they always like there's always like multiple companies that make the same setup. They just do it differently. So like if they just like absorbed each other and just made one, that'd be great. Be the perfect game.
oh yeah, it would just be top notch, but
Thick.
it's thick with like 8 C's. But all right,
Yeah.
let's. I hear the big sad. All right.
I didn't like how any of them did suppression at all.
I didn't either. But
Because like the Battlefield series does it best. Like all it should do is just blur out your screen. It shouldn't get darkened because then you won't see anything. Um and then so like they're both like just bad. Like Hell Let Loose, it goes completely gray,
yeah,
but then post scriptum, like it would have been fine, but your screen goes completely black. So like, there's no like, it's just not good. It's not. I don't like how they do it. I mean, whatever. It's realistic. Like the shaking part, that's fine. It's just the whole suppression like outline that's bad. The healing was cool. I thought Hell Let Loose, it looked better in Hell Let Loose when you're reviving yourself. I mean, healing yourself.
mm-hmm.
Looks better in that aspect. But I was gonna say, but for Postscriptum has it more Battlefield 5 base, which makes sense. I actually don't mind that. Battlefield 5, it's kind of annoying, but when you play it, you get used to it. That whole like that whole scarcity, or like I forgot what the word they were used for it for Battlefield 5, but it's okay. I thought it was pretty funny when you revive somebody in Postscriptum, they stand backwards or the opposite way.
Yeah, they just stand like immediately stand up. They're
Yeah.
like, oh shit, just lay down.
Yeah, they just stand in the opposite direction of where they got shot from. I
Right.
thought that was pretty funny. Um, Healing, it's okay. Suppression, not okay. In either game, so I'm
Right.
not picking sides.
So with the healing factor, I think Post Spectrum has that over Hell Let Loose because of the like you can't treat anybody else in Hell Let Loose, which technically a medic should be able to heal other people.
Yeah.
That's their role. That's what they're supposed to do. And I don't know if other players can heal other players. I don't know if that's the case or anything like that like in Post Spectrum, or if it's just a medic. I don't know if he clarified that or not. I didn't really catch that. I assume that the medic can only do that because of
I
the
think
class.
I think the medic they can only revive people. I think that's what he was saying in Hell Let Loose. Like the medic is just to revive people, but in Scriptum, the medic can heal people and revive.
Right,
So I'm assuming in Hell Let Loose you can heal yourself to full.
right. But I'm also thinking like, hey, can if other people have bandages, like to
Oh,
heal
can they heal
themselves,
you?
like, can they heal
Yeah.
you? And that's
I don't.
where I'm trying to
Yeah.
gather
I don't
that
think he's.
information.
I don't think he said that actually.
I don't think he did either, so I'm
Yeah.
thinking he's either specifying just the medics are doing it or if anyone can do it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So now with the suppression, I have issues with both of them. I agree that it going completely gray necessarily is dumb. And adding weapon sway and stuff, yes, because you're getting shot at, you don't want to get hit, so you're gonna flinch. So I get that. With post spectrum, where everything goes basically completely dark to an extent, like just like you have like a quarter-sized hole to look through to see which way you're going, and that's it. It's kind of both of them don't
Yeah.
sit well. I get it. I get it. Like if you're laying down and they start shooting the dirt around you, then it starts like blacking out some stuff, like adding like like dust particles, this that, and the other is kind of like blinding you. So you kind of have to like roll out the way and just like regroup. But when you're getting shot at, like being under suppression, yeah, you're gonna like cower, but you're also gonna just like still be able to see all around you. You're not gonna, your
Yeah.
eyesight's not gonna go away. It's not gonna change color. I would say weapon sway would probably be the most factor into it, but flicking it up and out of the way, like almost uncontrollably, not necessarily. Maybe like the first like 2 or 3 seconds of being under suppression, it'll be hard to like stabilize your gun, but once you're starting to fire back, you're gonna gun ho and you're gonna steady that gun, and it's just gonna
Yeah.
beam line to your target.
Yeah.
So with suppression, necessarily don't think either one of them did it correctly. Granted, it is a video game, so it's kind of hard to hit it perfectly. But I think more so it should just focus on more of the weapon sway than actually darkening.
No, they need to have live testers. We need people to go out there in the field and have somebody shoot around, suppress them. Don't shoot them. And they need to get suppressed just so that we get some realistic. I need realism.
Shoot at their general direction, just not at
Shoot them in.
them.
Yes. Just,
I mean,
warning shots.
you can just take it like paintball for an example. Literally have
Yeah.
somebody like shooting you at paintball. Your vision's not going to go. You're going to probably close your eyes and flinch like once or twice, but that's about it.
Yeah. That's, yeah.
Until you get your bearings, and then you're just like, oh fuck. Especially in a life and death situation that like it's trying to actually portray. You're in a life
Yeah.
and death situation. Adrenaline's pumping. You're just gonna go out there. Everything's just gonna be a blur at some point, and you're just gonna sit there and just unload on everybody.
Yeah.
So I
Just
mean,
needs 17 people with paintball guns to start shooting. I mean,
live tested.
realism.
Does my vision go into a quarter-sized hole, or does everything just turn gray? Like what happens?
Oh, what's going on here?
But that's my take on that whole entire situation with that. But I understand what the devs were trying to do.
Yeah.
It's just I think they went down the wrong path with that.
Yeah. Just Good idea, just wrong execution. Interesting, interesting.
So player rules are a little bit more redefined in post
Post
Scriptum
spectrum.
and post Spectrum.
Yeah.
Post Scriptum. I'll never get this one right.
Post disruptor rounds.
Yeah, post erupt rounds. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
With the player roles in and of itself, I think I'll Let Loose is more simplified, and I think I personally like that, especially the marksman. The marksman is always like the favorite for me. Sniper rifles is always like almost my go-to if I really want to. But it's, I understand like the recon, or not really the recon, yeah, the recon team and all that stuff, the radio man or postscriptum. Like also with like the commander having to be near a radio, yes, that's very much understand. Like, hey, you need something. The only way to communicate it is by through radio.
Yeah, especially during World War II.
Yeah, because carrier pigeons are not going to help you in this situation.
Pull out a flip phone, make a call.
Yeah, because everyone's going to pull out their iPhone 12 and start
Hey, I didn't say iPhone 12. I said flip phone. They got that box where you just make a call.
Yeah. Yeah, they dial 911 over in World War II.
Yeah, the rotary wheel or whatever it is, where you just turn it, place phone calls. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
thought that was. Oh, good. Okay.
sorry.
No.
With post scriptums, just like entire classes and stuff, I feel like there's more versatility when it comes to just being able to define what group is going to go where, and there's not going to be a lot of repeating classes when it comes to it. Now, on Hell Let Loose, there might be like several like different repeating classes. I feel like marksman probably might be one of them because you got your recon and your spotter. You still have both of those, which is actually interesting in it itself because in actual real life, when you are a marksman, sniper team, you have a spotter and you have a shooter.
Yeah.
And I like that. That's actually really cool, and I'm glad they put that in there because of very few games that when it comes to it does not have a spotter and a sniper. They literally have a sniper that spots for himself, which is dumb.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that they put that in there. As for everything else, I think they're both equally aligned. The tanks gear system for Hell Let Loose and it easily getting stuck. Understandable that this is still early access. A lot of that stuff can be fixed and redesigned, reformed to make it smoother and better. But there are some instances in World War II that tanks do get stuck on stupid stuff.
Never saw the pictures
You
in the
never saw,
history books.
yeah, you never read
They had to
one.
go out and push the tank over the hill.
Yeah, like the entire crew just get out and like push it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird. But I definitely like how they it almost added a little bit more realism that they do in fact get stuck and stuff, but over stupid stuff kind of breaks it though too. So
Immersion.
yeah.
Yeah. That was that was interesting. I mean, the commander system. The only thing I would say is, even though postscriptum is a little bit more realistic, if you're the commander, you got to be bored out of your mind because you're just going to be sitting around the radio, just calling in objectives and stuff like that, not doing anything. I mean, you're doing something, but you're not like in the field. So even though it is a bit realistic, it's probably a little bit more boring. Uh,
It's more
the
of like a
spot,
more like a relax
yeah,
relax point
I'm
instead of
commander.
like being straight in there.
Yeah, I'm commander. I'm about to just sit back and put these kids to work. It's that was pretty cool. Hell let loose. I thought a little bit more lenient, so it's gonna be more faster pace. Oh, that
Hmm.
was pretty cool. You can play as a commander and you can actually call in like what was it, like ordnance or give orders in the field. Like, it keeps you engaged. But I'm simple minded like that. I'm actually surprised for the roles. He didn't say anything. I know he went about over health already. He didn't say anything for like medic, like what the medic does in Hell Let Loose. So I was surprised that he didn't say anything about that. Um, and I'm just assuming Hell Let Loose, just based off of it, just sounds like Battlefield. You probably have like 5 classes you can choose from. So you're going to see a lot of assault, medics, stuff like that. That's what I'm picturing. Whereas post Spectrum, you get that marksman and that spotter. That's pretty cool. Um, what the tank class? Yeah, I don't really like vehicles anyways because I have bad experiences with vehicles.
I mean, we all do. So
Battlefield, knock on wood. Battlefield 5 when I get absolutely demolished. Um, so I think Hell Let Loose, I'll stay away from the old driving because then you got a gear system. Like, come on now.
I think that'd be more entertaining for me because
Oh,
I love the driving. The driving's
yeah.
always been fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think for me, driving while you're shooting would probably make more sense in that situation if we had to be the tank squad at that point in time.
Yeah,
Which I think there's only like 2 or 3 tank squads, so you're not going to be front loaded with all these like tanks like in Battlefield 5, where
yeah.
you
19
see
tanks.
you see a platoon of tanks just rolling over to you, and you're just like, well, I can't do anything.
You're like, I am it out.
Like I'm done. There's nothing for me to do. So what's the point? But yeah, other than that, like there's not really much else to say about it besides like, they did good. They could have done something a little bit different, but
Yeah, exactly.
everything's gonna be like both of them are still in pre early access, so a lot of it's gonna be updated. So I don't really have much of a argument
Early
against it.
access. Early access for the next
8 years.
20 years. Uh, uh, I don't think any of those rockets sounded good, in my opinion. I'm not gonna lie. Thought those rockets sounded flat as heck for a World War II shooter.
Hmm.
I think the weapons were fine though. Well, I couldn't read the words because I'm downloading Postscriptum. So what was it? The LMG and Hell Let Loose sounds like I was getting beat by like a sausage.
Dude.
You're
the
just getting tenderized.
the base of all the guns in Hell Let Loose is phenomenal. That sounded fantastic with just the bass, but
Yeah.
as the gun itself sounded awful.
Yeah, it was weird. Like it sounded like I was getting tenderized.
And then
Like
the M1 Grand, the ping and Hell Let Loose was such a disappointment.
sus. Sus. The ping was sus. And
Ping
it's not even like they knew they were supposed to have it. They had a little baby one. So like you're either gonna commit, either have it or don't have it. Because in Postscriptum, it was so much better. Like that's the whole point. And one grand, I need that ping. I need it. I need it.
It's literally you have to have the ping. If you do not have the ping, it literally negates ever using that gun.
Yeah, like I don't even want to use that damn gun. I want my $23 back. No, I'm just kidding. Um, the what is it? The Thompson and Hell Let Loose
Oh
sounded
yeah.
more so like sounded more so like I was playing a mafia game rather than playing like an actual military sim. You know,
Oh,
I just
you're using the Tommy gun instead of the Thompson itself.
yeah, exactly. Like I'm not using the Thompson. I'm using Tommy, his brother, estranged brother
Yeah, it's
from the
like redheaded stepchild.
yeah. So I don't really think the gun sounded that good. Postscriptum has the edge, in my opinion.
Post
Minus
script.
the rockets on both games just freaking suck.
Now I do have to give props that in post spec scripture. I'm just gonna call
Post
it
Malone.
Post Malone. The tank didn't have the running engine when it exploded, while in Hell Let Loose did. And then when you heard the explosion, it stopped. I give at least that. Oh, Hell Let Loose has that over Post Malone. In all reality, I think that's what gives the edge on at least that little bit right there. Now I'm just biased because hey, like the explosion sounded better on Hell Let Loose, and I like explosions more than anybody
Yeah.
else. But the guns themselves, the way that they sound, the ping, all have to go to Postscriptum. It's just really, really, really good on that side. So I'd have to go with that one.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, ugh, Jesus.
My one complaint about this entire video, like what was going on and all that stuff, did not go up with the sound of what the radio sounded like, because there's
Yeah.
radios in this to communicate, like, members and stuff, your voice in the game to see, like,
Hmm.
if it's proximity based, if it's, if they're
Yeah.
further away, can you hear them if they use prox over the mic, or if they reach a certain distance, it automatically switches to the mic, like the
Yeah.
radio
I
and
didn't,
stuff. So
yeah, I didn't think about that. Hmm.
that's something to get. The HUD and everything, didn't really go into detail about that one either. I saw a difference of it. Uh, didn't really explain, like, really the objectives of the game either. But
Yeah.
in
I'm surprised.
Hell Let Loose, kind of like, even with what we saw, was simplistic enough for me to not even have played the game yet, to look at it and be like, all right, I know kind of what I already need to do. Is literally like just take over sectors and sectors, like
Yeah.
in Battlefield.
Hmm.
In Postscriptum, I have no idea. Like, what's the objective? Do you take over spots? Do you take over like campsites? Do this, that, and the other? Like, where do you start? Is I'm confused on where it's at.
This man said, I'm not making a 20-minute video. I'm gonna make it 14 minutes and I'm gonna head out.
Basically.
I mean, they probably just do the same thing. Just Postscriptum is probably going to be a little bit more lengthier because there's stamina. There's
Mm,
like a slower style of pace. So I mean, I'm assuming if you play, I mean, obviously, like you can tell a difference between both games right off the bat. If you play Postscriptum, you're going to be in a match for like 45 minutes. I mean, 45 to maybe an hour. Who knows? Maybe I'm just making this up.
maybe
I'm
an hour
just
and a half, two
assuming.
hours. Like, it really
Yeah,
depends. Like, how slow is the game?
Yeah. Whereas, and you got to think about player counts too, because the only one I've seen so far is Hell Let Loose. I didn't even know about Postscriptum. I thought it was a zombie game. So yeah, think about player counts too, like trying to find a lobby and stuff.
Mhm.
Whereas Hell Let Loose came out last year and it seems to be doing well for itself. I mean, for
Yeah,
early access game,
yeah,
so those games could probably last you like half an hour or so. So I mean,
yeah. It really depends. As of right now, I like the simplicity of Hell Let
mhm.
Loose, but I like the on. I just like the realism of Postscriptum. So I
Yeah,
mean, if there was a good balance in between the two, I think that would be a perfect game.
yeah, it's
At
probably
least
got
in
to.
World War II.
Yeah, probably like if you want a better balance of those two, you got to play like I don't know, Search and See or I don't know one of
Uh,
those games.
yeah, it's
Darude Sandstorm.
Darude Sandstorm in World War II. But yeah, I think that kind of wraps up at least this video, because yeah, he basically said it. But that's basically my final verdict. What's your verdict? Like, Hell Let Loose, gameplay, Post Malone, uh graphics.
Uh, I don't really know. How are we doing this? Like, what gets what one and what category?
Yeah, we can split it off into categories like so we could do gameplay, graphics, sound, uh, and then just overall.
Oh, okay. So I mean, gameplay. I'll give it to you a hell let loose, just because I'm a little biased. It's not really gonna be fair, but I like the. I don't know. It seems a faster paced game, so I'm gonna say
Yeah.
I like the faster pace, the stamina. I mean, Postscriptum has the right ideas. Uh, it's just me watching it, just eye test. Just looks a lot slower. So there's that. Sound quality, Postscriptum has the better sound.
Hmm.
Minus the rockets. The rockets suck in both games, so
Oh
and
yeah.
explosions. They sound like garbage. Graphics. Uh, See, I was downloading, so I really couldn't tell what looked good. Hell, I mean, so I'm gonna give him a tie. I think Postscriptum probably looks like it has
Better
better like
graphics.
refined, yeah, overall graphics. But then Hell Let Loose didn't look that bad. So I mean, I'm gonna give it a tie. I'm gonna tie it up right there.
All right.
We'll tie it. We'll tie it. Overall, I don't know. I'm gonna save my overall verdict. I'm gonna save it until I play both games.
All right. So we'll come back to we can do like a
Post.
post review. So
I'll
this is a
post of the post.
this is a pre review or
A
pre gameplay
pre-post.
pre gameplay versus a post gameplay
Yes.
review.
Sure. Sure.
All right.